Morning and welcome. You are with the Skeinz Diaries. It is Thursday, the 12th of October. I'm Marie, episode 284. Welcome along. What a mish to get here this morning. Claire and I have done our mill run. Usually we do it on a Monday, but we were doing it today, so I've just literally breezed through the door. So good to have you along this morning. Hope everything is lovely and fine and delightful and fabulous wherever you are. Good morning, good morning. Oh man, have I got some stuff to show you this morning. This is part of the reason we did the mill run. Two things happened. One is photography came back overnight, which means that some yarns that came in last week, I'm actually able to get up and get out to you this week. Exciting. And the other thing is that there was some yarn that was returned, and some more returned yarn that came back. It was this time, I think, I can't remember why, but anyway, it's back. And we've just literally been over to collect that. So that will be going out on a $2.95 special, like the ice cream was on Monday. And man, did that go fast. 48 minutes, just in case you were wondering. I know lots of people were opened the newsletter and like, where is it gone? And it was like gone. This one I think will be the same. There's only we had actually a lot of the ice cream. We've got about half the amount of this other one. So if you are somebody who knits for charity and you're keeping a very close eye on the cost of things, we want to pick this one up. I'll show you in a second with that. I haven't even started the newsletter yet because I'm going to put all of these things in the newsletter to get out to you guys after I'm done here. So it'll be sort of early to mid-afternoon, and by then everything will be receipted in and it'll all be showing, and it should be tickety-boo. So exciting. Poncho, I haven't bought my poncho in. Good morning, everybody. The reason I haven't bought my poncho in is that I've only done about this much. I didn't get anywhere near as much knitting time as I thought I was going to get over the last couple of days. So I literally only sat down last night and managed to get a little bit of knitting done. So I thought, well, I'm not going to show you my piddly bit of progress. But what I do love is loads of you have cast on the Ratio Poncho since Monday and got started. And there are some wicked colour combinations. I just absolutely love it. Really do love it. And first, I'm going to show you some yarn that has just come back in stock. I mentioned the other yarn that was back in the car last week. We've had new stuff come in, new colours come in, and all of these things are going to work really, really, really well for your ponchos. What am I talking about? Well, many of you have seen the, what did I call this? I can't even remember. Paradise Lost, which many of you ordered. So that's sort of one at the darker end of the spectrum, one at the lighter end of the spectrum, this gorgeous hand dip. We've still got a little bit of this left, not a massive amount, but we still do have a little bit of this DK left. The reason I've grabbed the Paradise Lost is these colours have since come in, which are all, so we all know the lovely, gorgeous Incognito. It's on so this was the last of it, which I've just popped on these Skeinz labels because we ran out of Incognito labels. So that's that stunning merino, right? So we've got a little bit more of this left. So a lot of those other colours last week we put up, and they've all pretty much all but sold out now. There's a handful of them left. We do have a little bit of these naturals, but I grabbed these because we got some new colours in, and three of the colours, I took one look at these this morning with this. Look at that, right? I know. Feeling a poncho coming on. Wouldn't these look incredible with a Ratio Poncho? And then if you needed to throw a little bit of texture in there, you can throw in the green tea with the Whisper Fine, and you have got yourself quite a made of fine poncho, if I do say so myself. So this is the Paradise Lost. That's under the dip dyes. That's still available. You would only need one or two. Like if you're wanting to add, this is just this crazy little fleckle pop of colour, change up of colour. You could even do one or two to add in with your striping. If you wanted to do this with like that block of striping. So where is my? So this is the original Albertine, which has got the block of, most of you seem to be going with the block of striping option, so half striping, half non-striping. So you could actually do, do this with one or two other colors, right? And with your striping block, and then pick another neutral in between. And I have to say the Incognito, this in this style here, would be amazing because it creates such a smooth fabric on a single color. It would look amazeballs. It really would look good. So if you're wanting to do that, if you were just doing that block of striping, you would only need one of these to add in a little sort of craziness of color, and then add in those other solid stripes and then pops. So that's one option. Or you could do the whole thing, or you could do just, I'm doing striping right throughout with mine. If you're striping right throughout, I've got two different shades of these, two different shades of hand dip yarns. One's a darker and one's a lighter. So one I think is called Dark Harbour, Deep Harbour or Safe Harbour. And the other one is, I think it was Aurora. Very, very similar shades, both in that jadey spectrum. And I've got, and I'm just using one of each to go through. So you could do that. You could buy a couple of these, and if you wanted them quite different, you could pop in the comments that you wanted them quite different. And if we can manage it, we'll do that for you. But it just gives you a bit of fun. So what we did with this leftover Incognito is we had some left. So what had happened was they twisted the first lot up, the fine twist, and then there was some of it still needed to be twisted on cones. The last of that was twisted on cones last month. And they did a couple of small dyeings of the original colors, and we actually said to them, well, look, those colors were good and they were great, but we just want to shake it up a little bit more. So we were able to put in some smaller dyeings. We do still have what we call our old sample vat, and so these actually went through the sample vat, so we don't have a massive amount of the colors. But what we did is we went with richer, deeper, more saturated colors this time, with the exception of this guy at the top here. But it is just a completely different color palette to sort of the pinks and the grays and the muted clay and stuff that we had before. Especially these guys, aren't they amazing? Just amazing. So these are all on, I think they're all on the gray base. Oh, no, they're a mixture of both. So there's the grey and there's the leather. So we still have oodles of those left as well. And as you can see, they all work beautifully well together. I mean, look at those. If you haven't yet cast on the West Nuts, wouldn't that look amazing in the new West Nuts? I think that would look gorgeous in the new West Nuts. I think the new clue must be due out. I think that would look gorgeous. And I have to say, usually I don't comment on this sort of stuff because, I get myself into trouble, but I'm going to comment on this. I completely missed the whole controversy with West Nuts, passed me by. Shocker. Me missed something. Anywho, I caught a couple of customers and friends caught me up on it the last few days. Because I'm keeping an eye on the clues and the spoilers. I'm not doing it, so it didn't really bother me. And I looked at it and I was just like, oh, windmills, that's cool. That first clue looks like windmills. So if you haven't started yet, I'm sorry, I'm spoilers. I should have prefaced that first. But I was like, oh, and and I've seen a couple of friends who are doing it and they both sent me theirs. And if you're a quilter, and there's that windmill, I think it even is called the windmill pattern, isn't it, in quilting? You've got log, and it kind of looks like if the windmills in the log cabin had a baby, that's what the first clue looks like. So, of course, I was completely confused at the controversy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, jump into some of the forums and have a look. But there are people that tend not to follow me anymore, thought it looked like something completely different. And yeah, it's amazing. Hair hoof prints, hair hoof beats sea zebras. That's what that was, if you ask me, just quietly. But anyway, so far it looks, the first clue from what I've seen, if you did the original clue, actually looks actually looked at it and thought, oh, actually, I'll see how the whole thing finishes out. But actually, I wouldn't. That's certainly something that I would look nice. Anyway, that would look really nice in that, thing. And as you said, Margaret, yes, orange, and it's a fabulous orange. Knowing you as I do, Margaret, you will love this orange, and it's 100% merino, not a strand of alpaca to be had. So it make you even happier. Yes, no, and don't panic if you miss the whole thing about the West knits too. I had to, phone a friend, which is Ethan, and I'm like, okay, Ethan, fill me in. What have I missed? Because I'm such a noob. I'm head down, bum up, working. I have, after all my shenanigans of previous years, I just don't engage in that stuff anymore. It's a much nicer place for a girl to be, I have to say. My blood pressure and drinking thanks me for it. But it was, seriously. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, and Jeanette's just saying she feels really sorry for him. I feel sorry for him too. Bless him, Stephen. It was, I personally thought, I didn't dive into the weeds with it, but gosh, they're predictable, aren't they? They're very predictable. If they see something that looks like it's growing too big and too tall, they do like to chop it down. Bless their hearts. People with too much time on their hands, says Janine. Yeah, exactly. But there we go. If you were wanting to do the MCAL, stick with the original first clue, because I thought it looked lovely. And some of the yarn choices I've seen with it look really cool. And I think with the gradient element that he's doing, it's going to be a very, very striking piece at the end. Because let's face it, we're all in it for the knitting. Stop it. There's a thought. Morning, everybody. So I'm all over the show this morning because this is what happens when you run in at the last minute. The Incognito. This is going to go on a special price. So before you get fingers on triggers and you go sticking stuff in your baskets now, stop, because I'm going to be putting it on sale. Well, you can't actually because it's not even loaded up yet. Good. So don't, because it's going on sale. So wait for your newsletter because the special price will be in there. Not quite the half price, but it's a pretty good price. So that's when you want to get it. So you've got that going out at a really good price. So, right. So don't forget. So we've got this. Then you've got the Incognito. Now this is the $2.95 that I was telling you about before. Ta-da! This is come back. I know what it is now. It was actually a cook up in the mill. What they've gone and done, so that's why I grabbed this, is they were supposed to dye this a different shade of mint, and then the dye house selected that colour, thinking it was the colour that they were dyeing, and it wasn't the colour that they were dyeing. It was a different colour that they were supposed to be dyeing. So we've got an exact match for those two. So this is green tea, and they've called this one Minty Fresh, and they are peas and carrots, absolutely perfect match. And they are coming out. This is going to come out in the newsletter, so that's going to come out at $2.95 a ball. 100% wool, DKs. It's a 495, classic 495 by 3. It's not machine washable. But the reason I grabbed that and grabbed this is that if you were feeling like doing something like a love note and you're wanting to that together for a wee love note, amazing. If you're wanting to do a ratio poncho in one colour but do it with texture, amazing. And you would only need, like if you were double stranding, sorry, I'm just doing some mental arithmetic. If you were double stranding, I reckon you'd need only 2 of these, potentially 3, depending on what size you did. Oh, yeah, I can do the mental arithmetic because Delane has given me the mental arithmetic. I'm still doing it. Can't you hear? Can't you hear the? Yeah, 3 to 4 of these. So that's one option. Or you could actually do the whole Elton treatment on it, and you do sort of one. I would do like the single garter stripe in this, and then the doubles in that, and then you'd only need 2 of these probably. That would do and I would do your collar in this. That would be a seriously stunning poncho. But this will go like absolute freaking. this will go like absolute freaking hotcakes. So it's not even up. I haven't even photographed it yet. So that's going to, because I'll do that here. So that will go up with it. I'm going to put all of this in the newsletter. So look out for that. So hopefully I should have that out by about 2ish today, if I get my skates on and get that done. So that's all going out together. But that's what happened with that. So those two are a perfect peas and carrots match, the green tea and that. And then I've got this to show you. So we've actually had this in store for several weeks, and I felt awful because we haven't been able to put it up because I wanted to get the photography done properly on it. We got Bloom. You guys remember Bloom, that we sold that out at Epic Sale? The Bloom that we had in at that time was Bloom that was a cancelled export order from obviously an offshore client, and they had a series of colours. Then we had some left over, again, singles yarn that hadn't been twisted up in that count. And they came back and said, well, actually, it was a slightly different micron count, in fact, a finer micron count. And they said, look, we can twist this up into more Bloom. So we were like, actually, yes, because we've got nothing thicker than warm at the moment. And people do like to do quick, super chunky sweaters or jumpers or blankets or what have you. So what we've gone and done is we've had the small amount done up and we've put them in what I call very neutral interior design type neutral. So we've essentially got a charcoal. There isn't a huge amount of natural, but charcoal. So charcoal. Oh, here we go. Charcoal, almond. I can't remember the name of this. Charcoal, almond, storm. Yep, storm. That one I can't remember what we called. Shadow, I think. Storm, shadow, almond, wisp, and something. What's the khaki green? Sagey khaki green. It is laurel. And they, look, we've done them specifically for, most people do these into blankets and cushions and homewares, but they'd also make fantastic contemporary capes and big jumpers and things like that. So these are going out at a seriously sharp price. Usually, well, the Bloom last time was $16.95. We've only got a limited amount of these. They're 200-gram balls, so we managed to get them on. They fixed one of the spindles, so they've managed to put them on these big balls for us. And they weren't very happy about. They hate doing the big balls. Who doesn't love big balls? Me? Yeah, the mill doesn't, apparently. But because there were so few of them, we managed to bribe them to do them. So we have got them on 200-gram balls. So these are going out at $9.95 for a 200-gram ball. So that means that if you're wanting to knit up some blankets or anything big from a homeware perspective, or a large chunky sweater or cape or the like, at $9.95 for 200 grams, and I think it's 100 meters from memory. Yes, 100 meters, and 10 millimeter needle recommended, but to be honest, we've got items in here knitted from 10 to 15 millimeter. When you get that thick, it's, that is, that is what you can do. Lovely. And it's just gorgeous. 100% wool, Kiwi wool. It's lovely. It is hand wash. So no washing machine for this. But look, when you're doing big blankies and stuff like that, you're just spot treating and and the like. So that will be going up as well. So in fact, I think that's live now because I got that done first thing this morning. So that is live, but I haven't put that in the special page, I don't think yet. So that has gone up. But all of this, I'm going to put out in the newsletter, which is late today, obviously, because I've been wanting to get all of this done. So that is about me for today. I know it's not very much, but it's just, just how it is. In terms of knitting, it's election this weekend. I voted, finally. Got around to being able to, I love to be able to get that out of the way. So that job is done for me because I hear the weather. Don't laugh. I heard the weather forecast for Saturday, so I'm like, I better do that today because I don't like doing it on a weekday or windy. I think it was windy. I was like, yeah. So I'm all sorted. So that's good. So if you haven't done that yet, go out and do that. That's a good thing to do. There you go. Go and do that after this if you haven't done it already. Right. On that note, I will see you on Monday, and hopefully, I would have had a bit more knitted up on my poncho, and you've got some lovely new yarns. Oh, before I get told off and Claire tells me off, Labour weekend. If you are here, because of course not this weekend, but the following weekend is Labour weekend. Just to remind everybody that isn't in Hawke's Bay, that is also our anniversary weekend. So Labour weekend for us is actually it does if you it's I thought sorry Maureen, I've just read your comment. Maureen said, how does the cock up feel? I'm thinking oh, Maureen, and my mind went somewhere it didn't needed to go. Anyway, Labour weekend, let me do this and then I'll tell you about that. Labour weekend, 4-day weekend for us here in the Bay. So Friday is a holiday. It's actually our show day here in Hawke's Bay. So we will not be open. So Labour weekend, if you're visiting the Bay for Labour weekend, Saturday 10 to 1 is your window, your Skeinz window. So you tell all your friends and family and everyone when you're coming to visit that that's the window that you have to hit to see us, because we will be closed Friday and Monday that weekend. Okay, so put that in your diaries now. Maureen, no, don't apologise, Maureen. The cock up feels just lovely because the cock up is Perrindale. So I can tell you that. So that's what the cock up is. So if you know Perrindale, that's what it is. And yes, looking at that's what happened. It was supposed to be leafy mint, and they dyed it to cozy and snug matcha. So that's what happened. They pulled the wrong dye recipe. So it's essentially matcha that we have in Cozy and Snug, but on 100% Perrindale. So that's why it's going out. And it's going out without a label on it and at a really sharp price. So look out for it. And there's not that much of it. So we're just going to whip it all out today. But if it's great for a charity knit and blankets and things like that. Alrighty. I'm going to go and put all of this away and go and work on that newsletter. So the sooner I get started, the sooner I can get it out. Until then, you guys have a great weekend. And I will see you all back here again on Monday. Until then, take care.